All right, Mac, let's get over to your best bet for Friday night. What are you looking at for your best bet?
Toronto Raptors. There's one book that has it, so that's the line I'm using. It's BetOnline, and Raptors are -3.5. This was by far the biggest difference from my power ratings. I have Raptors -9, and there was a recent ESPN report about how the Raptors may be low-key tanking, and they play weird lineups and clutch moments and uh, different strategies that might affect a half point here, a half point there. It's all really mute when rarely in the NBA, not rarely, but not every time is clutch minutes. If maybe the Raptors are making suboptimal decisions in the fourth quarter for 6 minutes, maybe that's a half a point to their power rating. It's not going to change most outcomes because most outcomes, especially between these teams, are not close. The Raptors are a team, they're both of these teams are, towards the bottom of the East, but I think you look at the results, and this is the time of season where some teams like the Jazz, like the Hornets, like the Sixers, they are racing to the bottom. They're playing as bad as possible, and their performance gets worse. The Raptors, they kind of hit a low point in the middle of the season. They've been really good since the All-Star break. 10-3 ATS in March. We just saw them, and the market has maybe responding to these reports have just put up wrong numbers. They were underdogs to the Nets, ended up winning by 30. So the Hornets are and the Raptors are both bad teams, but on the season, the Raptors are about 4 points worse than an average team per 100 possessions. The Hornets are -10, but over the last 30 days, they're like -15. They're like one of, if it was the whole season, they'd be the worst team of all time. So I think this is apples and oranges. They're kind of thrown in the same bucket as two not great teams. Raptors, RJ Barrett's not going to be there. Grady Dick's getting rested. They're doing all the stuff that a tanking team does, but they're simply too good to throw them in the same bucket as the Hornets. So Raptors -3.5, best bet.
Well, Mac, I'll let you guess who has been the best defensive rated team over the last 10 games in the association.
That would be shout out to Scotty Barnes. The Toronto Raptors is my guess. Final
That
answer.
yep, that would be the
Nice.
Toronto Raptors. Point one points better than the Oklahoma City
Yeah,
Thunder.
step
And
your game up, Thunder.
yeah, what are you doing? I mean, a team that has only won 26 games on the season, you're letting them play better defense over the course of the last 10 games. But that's pretty shocking to me, right? Especially a team that, I mean, look, there was
Yeah, it's
conversation
a great
that
stat.
yeah, with Toronto Raptors, that there was a possibility that they could get into the play-in tournament. But Miami started playing well. Chicago has been on fire since the All-Star break. But it's not like they've totally given up on the season. They're still playing competitive basketball. I think that's the way to put it. Even though they will be without RJ Barrett, you mentioned Scotty Barnes still out there. They still have some young depth pieces on this team that are ready to go out there and perform for this Toronto Raptors team. Meanwhile, the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, look, they've already ruled out LaMelo Ball. Brandon Miller, we know, is gone for the season there as well. So it's pretty much Miles Bridges and Mark Williams that are being out there. I'm not sure that's going to be enough for a team that is playing defense right now in the Toronto Raptors. So I'd be with you for sure on this bet.